Think Pacific, we organise gap year projects to the Fiji Islands. We send out teams of 16 to 18 students and they work on community development projects and they do lots of adventure activities, rafting, kayaking, sailing. We established Think Pacific, we started planning for Think Pacific years ago, about 2004, 2005. We had the idea really from my own experiences going to Fiji and living in the communities, volunteering myself. When I got back, I just had such a desire to go back out there and do something there that could, one, so that I could, spend my time working over there, but also so we could put something back into the communities that we'd really, had a big connection with. So we then started looking at different projects that we could do and support local councils, the local government, and through just connections, and literally just we'd phone up the government officers and I'd say, can I speak to the Prime Minister, could you put us through, could we speak to anybody? From that it was amazing how easy it was to get the connections and speak to people, and when they heard what the project we were doing, that it wasn't just bringing people over for tourism, that it was actually going into the communities, facilitating funding for local projects to be developed. They loved the idea, and from their support we worked for the last really few years making trips over to Fiji, planning it, and at the same time here thinking, right, how do we set up a business, how do we turn it into just an idea and this passion, and just what didn't look like a business into something more solid. I went to an enterprise show in 2004 just with the vague idea that I wanted to do something, and met loads of people who were doing different projects, also didn't had ideas for business, didn't know really what they wanted to do. And again, that support from other people, meeting other people that had ideas from everything from setting up surf schools, to setting up a restaurant, and they didn't have an experience. It suddenly seemed that what we were doing, although it was 10,000 miles away, was just the same as anyone else setting up a business. And then we spent the next few years just really working in the day to fund just day-to-day living. I'd literally fly over to Fiji for 2 weeks, have loads of meetings, just as much as we can, just work 20 hours a day, fly back and continue working, and every evening I'd just work on the business plan. I had a list really of about 190 things that the day one, writing on a notepad of everything that I needed to do. It was maybe a year into working that I got a call from someone at the British High Commission to say, look, there's this guy out in Fiji, he's from England, he comes back every year, every summer, he's at Leeds University, you should meet up with him, he's 2 minutes away from you. I can remember just going to meet Harry in the university bar, sitting down, showing him what I've done, the idea, the plan that we had. His eyes literally just lit up, and from then on we worked, we just basically said we'll do this, and we would then work every evening, taking off this list of this 180 or whatever things, and looking at different routes, looking at the funding, looking at all the insurance, the flights, the organisation, and we got as much done as we could here, and then really we split. Harry moved to Fiji. He took that step to go on and work with the communities and set the projects up there, while I spent a year working here and doing the organisation and getting people ready to go out there, and doing the sales and getting people interested. And then he launched last July, so we've been going for less than a year. We launched our first project. We sent out 16 people to Fiji. They did a renovation project, installed fresh water to a community, built a village kitchen. And from then on, we're on our third project now, and we're just kind of looking at growth and looking at the development.